Hi there, welcome back. Welcome to a new project, and this one again is somewhat different. This is an all-transistor multi-band radio from Zenith, which is quite an iconic brand, especially across the waters in the States. And in Madeira, these things are very, very rare. In fact, generally in Portugal, I don't think there are that many, but there's a story to this one. I have a friend who lives on the island of Porto Santo who collects radios, and he has quite a collection of Zeniths. And the last time we spoke, he said it's quite a shame that I didn't have one of the Zeniths on the channel. I said, well, I don't think there are any in Madeira. So he promised the next time he came over from Porto Santo to Madeira, he'd bring me one. But COVID has not permitted yet, so I thought I'd have to wait for quite a while. In the meantime, someone out of the blue contacts me and said they got a radio to restore. And this is it. It's a Zenith. It's the Trans-Oceanic Royal 3001. And it actually looks pretty unimpressive when you look at it like this. But the magic starts happening when you get a bit closer. Sorry, Tiago, I don't mean to badmouth your favorite brand, but it does look a bit non-brown. Anyway, this has got quite a few problems with it. I haven't switched it on yet. I believe it's making some noise, but I haven't switched it on yet. I've been sort of stuck with the surface mess that I see here. A lot of dirt. Some of the chrome is sort of chipping or bubbling. That's going to be interesting. I wonder how much I'm going to be able to do with that. A lot of cleaning to do. There's grime, but I like grime. Grime comes off easily. The multi-band drum switch. It's got a drum switch on the side, which is not really too distinctive. It's sort of loose. It's not sharp. It probably needs a hell of a lot of cleaning, but it's there. The back, obviously you take that off with a coin or something. There's a 12-volt external supply here. And let's get it back to the front. This thing's got a very cool antenna system, which we'll see in a while, but this front has got a problem. You open this and this lid is supposed to flip out, but this lid has got a hinge broken there. And then you pull that out, and it actually looks like a radio now. And it's got the, there's that sort of document charts, log charts, and everything else, time zones, which is what you'd expect. This is quite cool. This is your dialer map. So I would imagine, this is to get the local times. You've got your time here, and then you can set it to the number of hours that you are ahead or behind, and you'll know what the local times are, which will correspond to the times they give you on the logs and charts. That's interesting. Okay, cool. What else have we got here? Tuning dial, and okay. The dial cord is obviously in place. There's a lot of chrome that's just come off here. It's not in very good shape. Let's see if the the drum tuning does move. Okay, that's good. You've got a 0 to 100 reference dial at the top here. Now this thing goes practically from long wave all the way to, I would imagine, let's see, weather and marine, afternoon. This is megahertz. That's 9.4 to 10.1. This is not continuous. Afternoon and evening, 11.4 to 12.3. All day, 14 to 15.8. All day, 17 to 18. That's probably the upper limit, 18.4 megahertz. If you've seen my restoration of the Braun T1000CD, that's also sort of an all-band radio, and that thing goes continuous. But anyway, that's a different radio. We've got FM as well. Okay, 88 all the way to 108. That's good. Long wave is there, broadcast band is there, and then it starts on 2 megahertz for, yeah, okay. There are a few gaps in the band. That's fine. And over here we've just got a few knobs. We've got treble and bass. Well, treble one way, bass the other way. That's one knob. On and off, power. And I presume volume, yeah, okay. And then down here we've got the dial lamp. And here we've got normal FM and FM with automatic frequency control. It's got everything. It does have everything. It's actually quite a surprise the minute you open this up. The antenna on this thing, because it is an all-band radio, has got to be quite impressive, and I'm told it is. You push this here, and that comes off, and that is your antenna, and you can actually put it at 45 degrees, or there, if you want almost horizontal, and your antenna comes out. That's really neat. And I would imagine this thing is pretty, oh yeah. Okay, this thing is long, probably about 2 meters. Okay. That's a bit of a surprise. No idea it was that big. And then to put it back, you do that and it clips back on. And I believe there's a wave magnet here for long wave and medium wave. I don't see any external antenna socket, but there might be something inside. Next thing we'll do is we'll just open this guy up and see what we have under the hood. Well, oh well, that is different. That is definitely not what I'm used to. That is really different. The whole thing is shielded. Now, my friend had told me that I'd be surprised when I open the back of one of these. And I certainly am. Bloody hell. This is like a tank. Everything is shielded. Oh, and the transistors are on sockets. Okay. What did this say? It usually says how many transistors. Where did I see something about the number of transistors? So the transistors are on sockets. How many can I identify here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's, it looks like, yeah, I think that is. That there looks like a ground and antenna. That looks like a connector for external antenna. If you want to connect an external antenna, because that thing I think comes from the top here. Okay. All right, so they do make it possible, and you all know I like using the mini whip, so that should be useful. And now we've got 1, 2, 3 transistors there. What else have we got on there? This is behind the band switch, the drum tuner or drum band selector. That's all the trimmers over there. Front end, obviously. That I would imagine is probably the oscillator coils and the front end antenna coils. I have to look at the schematic and the service manual because I don't know this radio. And this one definitely is different to what I'm used to. I'm not that much of a transistor radio guy. Leave that to Graham, Radio Cruncher. You've got to go see his site. He's got some amazing repairs there. But occasionally I pick up one of these and I like the challenge. And that looks like the FM front end because it's all shielded and we've got 2 transistors and sockets there as well. There's the tuning condenser. I wonder if, yeah, it's working. So the dial cord is healthy. Look at all those trimmers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh God. The alignment on this must be interesting. I was going to say a nightmare, but I'll say interesting. The alignment must be quite interesting. Something else that is interesting here. Yeah, something else is interesting here. I'm not sure this thing came with an external supply. We'll get to that. Right, all the trimmers there. Speaker there, quite hefty. This power supply looks like it's been added on. This definitely does not look original. I'm not even sure. I know this thing used to come with a battery pack that used to fit on here. And there's the 12-volt DC supply on there, on the right. I think, yeah, I'm sure somebody put this in here. I'm not sure that this is original. Might be, but this looks like a homemade PCB. And a little transformer, rectifier, filter caps, probably voltage 12-volt voltage regulator on there. And that looks like someone's added it on. Okay, this thing is definitely patched on. Maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't. We'll find out. Okay, more transistors and sockets. More transistors and sockets over there. These I know are all germanium transistors, which is a very new experience for me. So that might be the push-pull system used in the Braun T1000 as well. 2 push-pulls with the output transformer and the speaker over there. And then we've obviously got more transistors over here and there and there. That must be the IF line, definitely. I wonder how you tune that. Should be interesting. So yeah, so what I want to do is I want to test it. I want to put some power to this and see if we get anything. And for that, I'm going to actually use the mini whip. No, I won't. I'll try it with its own antenna. But I want to see if this thing receives anything at all and see what it is we're dealing with. Let me set it up. Okay, I've got that power on there. Put it on FM. What is it on? Let's go to FM. It's on FM. Here goes. Well, let me release the antenna at least. Give it a bit of antenna, give it a shot. Oh, it's making some noise. Very noisy pot, but that's okay. It's drawing 20 milliamps from the main supply. Well, it receives something.
Estamos na próxima edição, que era esse o grande objetivo. Mesa da Assembleia Geral, o órgão que garante a legalidade dos estatutos do clube.
This is maximum volume on one of the strongest stations here. Not very good, is it? Let's see what else we got. Long wave. It's supposed to be the wave magnet. Maximum volume. Now I know that this will be directional. Don't expect much, but medium wave. It's trying. Let's put up the antenna properly. going to extend it all the way. See if we get anything. Ah, it's working. Okay, this thing is doesn't have band spread, so trying to get in one of the amateur bands is practically impossible. But maximum volume, that's all we're getting. So we've got quite a bit to do here. Quite a bit to do. It's probably an understatement. Bloody hell. I've got to go and study this for a while. I've got to study it for a long while. As I said, I think that's aftermarket, that power supply. I may be wrong, but I do believe this thing did not have a main supply. It used to have used to use batteries or an external supply, and I believe you bought that separately, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. That would have been so much neater. Oh man. It would have been so much neater if they just bought a little transformer and used it there. Instead of, well, I don't like making changes like this to a radio like this one. I'm a bit of an idiot like that. I think these things deserve to be kept as original as possible, especially if you're not making much of a difference. I mean, a little wall wart, 12 volts output power transformer outside. It's got the jack for it. It says there, 12 volts. Why drill holes on here and put a whole bloody thing in there? It's just not something I like to do. The other thing is you don't know what you're doing in terms of noise, introducing noise, because now you've got a rectifier diodes in here, and they're close to the IF section just over here, which is very sensitive to noise. Yeah, I got to think about what I want to do with this. I'm not sure what I should do with this. I might remove that actually. I've got to speak to the owner. I might remove that and just provide him with a little external transformer, which with the right plug for there, and get this back to its original form. But what do we have here is it's a very low output, hardly any volume at all. I mean, that was on maximum volume. But the good thing is that the radio function is there. It seems to be receiving on all channels, at least the ones we could pick something up on, and it's just very weak and very low. So yeah, right. I'm going to stop this video for now because I'm going to do some studying. As usual, this is 75% study and 25% restoration, and that's why I enjoy the hobby. I'm an idiot. So I'm going to be studying the schematic and looking up some forums and getting some advice. And before I tackle, oh, there is one thing I have discovered. This is a positive ground. Love it. The chassis is actually 0 volts, and the supply is not plus 12 volts, it's actually minus 12 volts. So if you put the batteries in here, your positive of the batteries goes to the chassis, and your negative of the batteries is actually the supply. So you've taken the 0 to 12, and you've moved it down, and then your 12 becomes 0 and your 0 becomes minus 12. It makes no difference. It was just a convention used. It was very convenient, in fact, for the PNP transistors they tended to use. So no big deal, makes no difference, but it is a different way of thinking, and you've got to be aware. You've got to always be aware of what you're doing, because when you're measuring something, you immediately go to the chassis and think it's 0 volts. It's not. It is 0, but everything else will be negative below that. So you've got to be just aware of what you're doing. By the way, there is a phono jack over here, a headphone jack, 3.5mm phone jack. I'm sure it's mono. So yeah, okay. External power supply, guys. That's all you needed to do. Hell, you could have changed the socket, the socket if you wanted to. Anyway, we work with what we get. So that's it for now. I'll be back soon once I've done some research and find a game plan. There's not much secret going on here. This thing is it's working, so I'll be going through the supply and checking capacitors and making sure that this thing is getting everything it should, checking the audio output section, which I think might have a problem because that volume is way too low. Capacitors are going to be dead on this thing, the electrolytics. I don't see many, but then again, I haven't taken it out of the chassis yet to check the electronics on the front end, which I think is where most of the electronics goes. And then I'll get back to you with the second video. So once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining me. I hope you do join me in this project. I know Tiago and Porto Santo is going to. Hope I don't let you down. And this, by the way, doesn't mean I don't want to do yours. I want to do yours as well. So thanks for watching. And if you like the video, click like and share the video and subscribe to the channel and all that jazz. And if you want to support the channel directly, you can do so on Patreon. Links are at the end of the video and also in the description below. Thanks for watching. Bye for now and stay safe.